All right, today we're going to talk about Harley-Davidson goes woke. I was at the racetrack this past weekend and I was in a conversation with a few different people, and they're telling me how the CEOs of Harley-Davidson are full out woke supporters, funneling money into all these campaigns and all this stuff. And I was like, oh really? I was totally unaware of that. And I was mentioning it to another fella, and he was kind of like, old biker guy. He's like, well, what really is woke? Well, the quick explanation for me, being Canadian, is example is this past week they had the opening ceremonies for the Olympics, and they had like cross-dress woke people with their genitals hanging out standing beside children. And I don't support that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into this, but that whole theory, I'm not into that at all. So I don't support that New World Order scenario. So yeah, I'm just a guy that's been working on Harley-Davidsons for 20, 30 years, and I kind of make my living doing it. So it's an important deal for me. So I figured to make this video and kind of explain it to some people. And I'm not sure how it's going to affect everybody else, but I'll tell you how it's going to affect me. Most of my work is taking stock Harley-Davidson stuff off and putting aftermarket things on. It's all performance oriented, and like this motorcycle here is mine, and the only two parts on it that are Harley-Davidson are the transmission case and the primary system, and those are the only two things right now that are actually giving me any kind of grief. So I'm going to go ahead and change those out. Everything else, it's not registered as a Harley-Davidson, it's all custom built. I'll keep that. I have a few other Harley-Davidsons, and I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of money at the Harley-Davidson dealership. I want to kind of let them know, not like I'm going to make a difference, but I'm sure if everybody kind of follows suit, they might realize, because there's other companies that went woke, and it was like John Deere, Tractor Supply, there's a few other ones. You can look that up. There's a ton of information on it. And when they kind of found out that their clients weren't into it and they kind of protested and bucked back a little bit, they kind of pulled back their thoughts on that, or they're pulling away from it. Like, Harley-Davidson's such a great brand. I've never seen a brand where people spend so much money to fly their brand and advertise for them. It's kind of a whole culture thing. Like, Harley-Davidson, they're messing with their brand. I think it's going to bite them in the butt here if they don't do something about it. They say by 2030 they want to be fully electric. I think that'll be kind of the end of that. The reason I got into Harley-Davidson stuff 20, 30 years ago is because it's just the sound, the feel, the vibration. It's just like, oh yeah, you're more satisfied not going super, super fast just because of the feeling that the bike itself creates. And I think that's all going away. Now they got their newer liquid cooled scenarios. I haven't really got into that. I kind of work up like the old stuff up until they changed from the twin cam. I'm kind of on the page where if I'm going to get liquid cooled, I'm going to go ahead and get something really fast. I'm not saying the new stuff isn't faster, but compared to like the new Ducatis or some of the Japanese stuff, they're making a couple hundred horsepower, where Harley, it's like, I've never seen a Harley-Davidson make good, reliable horsepower after 150 horse. It's just like, that's where things just start flying apart. Unless you buy aftermarket stuff, there's some really good aftermarket stuff, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Harley-Davidson is fully supporting children deciding their genders before they're old enough to get a tattoo. I don't agree with that. Like, as a child, I made a lot of bad decisions and a lot of things that I wish I would have changed. I don't agree with those values. Your sexual preference is your deal. I don't need to know about it. And that's the thing that upsets me about the whole movement. It's just like too much of that stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to continue building fast stuff and not going to be spending too much money in the Harley dealership. I have so much Harley-Davidson paraphernalia, t-shirts, and just things all over just from being in the industry that long. But yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be too willing to fly their colors if this trend goes any farther. But let me know what you think. That's my 2 cents for anybody that doesn't realize what's going on. Have a look, Google her up, and see who's all in their corporate circle, and you'd be surprised. There's probably not one person on there that knows how to kickstart a shovel head. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Thanks for watching, and keep her tuned.